All right, all right. So it's time. All right. Okay. Let's see. Good morning, Michal, Isra, Karian. Okay, time to throw in some topics so we can get the ball rolling. Dice is ready. I need 6 topics. That's odd. Topic disappeared. What the? So Chimera, Sledgehammer, Fallen Angel, Toxic, Colossus, Frog, Ice Demon. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more. It's weird. Why is it like... Huh. One more, people. Come on. Or Man Bear Pig is number 6. Man Bear Pig, there we go. Dice is rolled. It's number 4. 4, which is Chimera, Sledgehammer, Fallen Angel, Toxic, Colossus, Frog. Good morning, Captain Jetlag. For some reason, the topic doesn't want to show. So I have to just add again. And what was it called? Toxic Colossus Frog. By no other than GOG6 again. GOG6 again. That is crazy. How are you so lucky, Mr. GOG6? Okay. There we go. Topic is up. Time started. Let's do this. You should definitely start playing poker, Gaxix. As long as it's topic related poker. Alright, Toxic Colossus Frog. Okay, I don't have a picture in my head yet. But let's try it. I bet it'll come. Alright. So how's everyone doing? My son will yet again go to a birthday party. There's a lot of them happening. He's gonna probably eat bucket loads of cake and tasty things and run around like crazy. The boys are so... I know, like, you know, you always say boys are like lively, but you always forget how much energy is in these kids at like 8. It's like a never-ending madness. They just go on full blast constantly. You can even see them like just dripping. Just no, they're not gonna have a water break. Why would you? When there's time for running and jumping and throwing things and climbing up high walls and they're crazy. But it's a good crazy. It's a good crazy. We all need that. And growing up, you know, you need contrast so you can be calm. Get the crazy period out of your life. But then also puberty will hit and you'll get that crazy period. Yeah, definitely. You should let the kids be kids. So I mentioned yesterday that I started a new client, and they're happy with my update. So today I'll be doing more, and yeah, it's cool stuff. Can't wait to see it being put in game. It's a cool world they have created. Super happy to be a part of it and help them influence the game. And they were very pleased with what I had done, which is great. Even though it was just thumbnails, it's a promising start. And now just to kind of wrap it up so we get even more contracts from them. It's cool stuff. No, we can't say Captain Jetlag. Have to respect that border, you know. Unless they announce or show, you know, we can't really say whose we are working with until it's okayed by the client. So you just have to happily stay quiet, keep your head down, do cool stuff, and make the client happy, and you happy, of course, as well. You gotta be happy with your performance yourself, and then naturally the client will be most likely more happy. You know, if you're burning and having a desire to do cool stuff, you know, it's important. It's important to be happy about your own stuff, and it's easily can become bored, and I don't think that's very prone for creativity. Michael, no, we had the contracts and briefings and stuff, but yesterday after my warm up, I had the go ahead, from the client to start producing stuff for them after all the contract and briefs and meetings, so that I'm on point, so I could just start delivering. And yeah, so yesterday I did, and it was appreciated with positive comments. So looking forward to do more today. Any advice for painting a bird view city? Use 3D as a base to get the perspective, so you don't need to or a perspective grid. It's also 3-point perspective grid. In those kind of views, it's perspective is everything. Captain Jetlag, yeah. I mean, it's so important to be happy with what you're doing, and everything will kind of fall into place automatically that way. And if you're very unhappy with doing a certain specific art, if you can influence what kind of clients you're going to work with, try not to work with those clients, or come up with ways where you can actually enjoy doing that kind of work, whatever that can be that you're not happy with. Luckily for me, I'm not that picky. I just really enjoy the process of creating. I think what I least enjoy is when the client becomes nitpicky, not about changes, but process, and it has to be a specific way, and like the creativity is removed, and it just becomes like a checklist they can have a intern do. Then it's just the whole creativity aspect is completely lost, and I'm not too keen on that. Luckily, it doesn't happen very often. LeFos, 3D bases can help you get things quicker. But the problem with 3D and like using 3D, you need, if you want specific lens distortion, you need to set that up in the 3D program as well, like field of view. But hopefully you know how to do that. Otherwise, the perspective can become quite rigid and flat. You don't get that dramatic effect. Yeah, definitely, Captain Jetlag. But some clients just need that specific things checked. They need it to be able to move forward. and maybe other artists are skipping on them, so they need someone that please get this done. I don't know, but sometimes it happens and you just have to sometimes suck it up and just do it. This is not the new client, by the way. The new client is all creativity. It's great. This new client is all, they more or less gives me free range, which is cool. We like your stuff, do more of it. All right, let's do it. Of course, I value their feedback and their point of view. You have to. It's a product that they want to sell and make, But it's cool. I enjoy it. Yeah, Captain Jetlag definitely helps out. And also you can also help the kind of whole the creativity and rinse repeating is or nitpicking. You can also help limit by setting limitations when doing the deal. This is how we do it. Do you want to? If you want this service, we don't provide it, but you can get it. XYZ. Chef Spartan, yeah, I do. I'm a lead artist there. Been there for many years now. I don't even know how many. 6, maybe. I'm starting to rack up the years now. But it's cool. We get to do cool stuff, so I'm happy. And I'm friends with the owner. We go back, so it's even more fun to be a part of the journey with my friend. Of course, it can mean that sometimes I have to put extra effort in and help a brother out, so to speak. But I'm willing to do it. As I said, it's a friend's company, and we will work well together as well. So it's all good. Michal, so for this client, the new one is all character based for now. This part of the contract, it's a big contract which will have me do lots of characters, and to start with, and that's gonna keep me busy for a very long time. And then after that, nothing stops the client from expanding the contract. We got some cool character artists. Environment artists that can easily help out as well. Chef Spartan, the difference I would say is that there's a lot less discussions. about direction. You don't need to sit in a meeting room with the producer and designer and audio guy and game designer and lead 3D artist and discuss about is it the correct version of Red. A lot of that is out the window, which is, for me, I really appreciate. I can't deal with those kind of conversations. Not because I don't want to listen, but it's all opinion based, and you can make anything work more or less as long as it's thought through. So I'll happily leave that part over to the client, and they can argue about, and whatever random topic of is it the correct color version of Red, and then they just tell me what they want, and I'll do it. What I miss is huge team aspect. A lot of different disciplines all under one roof, and you can kind of desk surf by going across colleagues' desks and talk to them and see what they're doing and be inspired, and it's a little bit different when you're out of the studio in that sense of a huge in-house studio. Of course, we got some artists at Opus, but it's nothing compared to like a 300 person company. We are not 300 people at Opus. So that's, I'd say, the biggest difference. The positives is we are free to create art all day for clients, and if the clients like us, we become like an integral part of the pipeline, which is even cooler. We get to influence the game quite significantly, and without the bureaucracy of discussions and all these things. Negative is we are isolated and we can't participate in discussions and affect something on a bigger picture. And we don't get the privilege of being a part of making the game, watching it grow. We're just kind of plug and play unit. That's a negative. And you learn a lot by being in a studio and watching a game being produced. It's a great experience to have, and an important one to have, which I would say all artists need to experience at least once. Hey, Artsy Coast. Welcome. If you Captain Jetlag, if you mean this result, it's gonna be on video on demand and posted on Tumblr and Facebook and Twitter, with the links are underneath. Chef Spartan, you should definitely try both. You meet a lot of good friends at a company working in-house. Oh, you're also a concept artist? Oh, let's work on the game together. And oh, you'll do something else? The possibilities are huge, rather than you kind of outsourcer, just sitting at a desk dislocated from the main studio that you're working for, and just kind of sending works through contacts over email. It can be quite, you're removed from the cool aspects, but it means you can work on more cool stuff without worrying about contracts and NDAs and exclusivity clauses in contract. I worked for Sega, and they said you're not allowed to do any art, more or less, during your employment with Sega. And if you do, theoretically Sega would own it, until you ask them, do you have interest in this, and they would say no. And sometimes, like if you had a game project, theoretically they could say you are not allowed to make this game on your spare time. And that was something that I had an issue with working for Sega. It was not a cool thing. It kind of sucked completely, you know. Any sketch I did on my personal time, theoretically Sega owned, which is kind of weird. That it was a harsh contract. But you have to respect it, you know. Because if you don't, they'll screw you over. Because legally you're bound to follow it because you agreed to it when you became employed. Of course, I could have argued that I shouldn't be subjugated to that clause and demand it to be changed before starting employment. But at that time, I was green, and I just said, "Yep, that's fine. You know, just hire me." And that's that. So that's why it's really important to read contracts and know what deal you're signing up for. The thing is, it's not that weird of a clause to have in a contract. The thing is, you can't get away from it by just not having anything public. You know, you can still work on stuff theoretically without telling anyone or putting it on internet, and then you just cancel the contract when you're done working with them and say, here's some stuff I just did. Svensson Art, no, this was full-time employment at Sega, who had that deal. I had that deal at Sega when I worked for them. Exclusivity clause, where any art that was produced was theoretically owned by Sega. But I only worked for them for 3 years, and then I quit. But it was good fun though. Only 3 years. Yeah. Yeah, all that I produced during my employment on my spare time or during work hours was theoretically owned by Sega. That was the deal. But it was more like, you know, I'm saying theoretically owned. They more or less had first dibs, and they could also deny you the right to work on a project that maybe interfered with their projects, you know, so you didn't start before creating competitive products of something that you're working on. You know, it makes sense, the contract, but it's just a shitty contract when you think about it as a private person. But if you would run Sega, that clause is, you know, maybe they've got burnt and they're just like, or we can't afford another Super Mario failure. You know, maybe they shit, maybe they originally did a Super Mario and some dude just worked on Super Mario in his spare time, and now Sega got screwed over. You know, who knows why they have that clause in that contract, but probably something in the lines of that. Golden Tigers, yeah, you're late. 5 minutes left, but welcome. Glad that you're here. So Gaxix was the winner again of the topic, and it's a Toxic Colossus frog. So I'm making some huge frog here. Not really a lot of scale here, but I can't be bothered. Yeah, it says, and this was not for freelance. If you do have that clause in freelance, then they better pay huge. Isra, carry on, yeah, definitely. Yeah, maybe infinite divide, maybe some trees. I'm not keen on some parts, I'm gonna liquefy them. Leave it like that. Some scale, yes, I think I need some scale. Cracking some trees. Some pine trees. Some birds falling down dead. Okay, time's up. This is what came out today. Thank you, Gaxix, for the topic. Thank you all for joining me, doing some 30-minute warm-up. Have a fantastic day. Hello, Bear Dish. Yeah. Anyways, my 30 minutes are up. Welcome tomorrow morning at the same time for the next stream. So have a great day, evening, everything, and bye bye. Thanks for coming.